Hey, Rio here. It is week one attendance, and I bet you've watched some video from me already. So hopefully you're getting used to this. I know it's new for most of you. Well, actually, I don't know that. The truth is, we all come into this class with varying levels of experience. First, with either online, so maybe this is your first online class, or maybe this is your first coding class, or maybe this is your first online coding class, right? Whichever it is, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. I hope you have fun in the next 18 weeks. I hope you surprise yourself with what you can accomplish. And I look forward to getting to know you through this course. As I said before, my name is Rio. I'm your instructor. You've probably already heard from me, but it is Friday before the start of the semester. And I've spent most of my day setting in sessions that as faculty, we go through this to help us ramp into the semester, learn all the things that we can hopefully help you be more successful with. And one of the things now in this new reality that we all live is that the campus, we are now an e-campus. We are an electronic campus. You are interfacing with all things Fresno City through this, your phone, your iPads. And for this particular class, I can't imagine you not being able to do this work without a full either desktop or laptop, but God only knows, because there may be some of it where you are consuming content like this. Like this, what you're about to do right now doesn't require you to have an internet connection. But one of the things I want to make you aware of is that Fresno City is trying to help, right? And what I want to tell you is in your course, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and just show you. I'm here at what all of us get, but it looks different, which is our dashboard, right? So for me, there's my classes that I'm teaching. I'm teaching Python, I'm teaching JavaScript, I'm teaching web development, and my Node.js course, which was the advanced JavaScript course, got canceled, but such is life. Things don't always go as planned. But anyway, what I want to show you is in this course, when you're in a course, you have a new option at the bottom, which is the Student Support Hub. So the Student Support Hub has been organized by varying pieces of our campus to really try, and it seems to be taking a little bit here. And that's probably because everybody's banging away at it today, which sometimes hopefully doesn't cause all of us to go down, but it can not go down, but go a little slower. So these are resources that, depending on what it is that you need from the campus, they've tried to organize it so that, do you need to know about our checkouts of our laptops and our MiFis? Is your Wi-Fi, not set up or not workable for you? This is a big issue. This is almost like, well, not almost, it is fundamental for any class for right now. Today we talked about, and I didn't even know this was the case, is that even though the campus is officially kind of shut down, some students are still going to go in their car and set and get Wi-Fi in the parking lots, right? And there's just a whole bunch of things we have to think about with that, but I didn't even realize that was an option. So, and that the fact that the school is trying to help by offering some technology up, right? So again, depending on what your needs are, this is somewhere you can come and find out about services related to the campus. So this is really your support hub. Sometimes this just links you out to other sites, like even our own website, but it is a great place to get started. So I just want to tell you about that. And hopefully if you need, you can check into that. And then if you're not sure where to, depending on what you need, you could always reach out to me and I will attempt to do my best to give you some direction. So JavaScript. I love JavaScript. I do. I've been teaching it for a couple of years, and the more I write JavaScript, the more I love it. I'm teaching Python this semester, and so that's totally fun. I kind of have to, what I used to do, what I do in JavaScript, I have to learn to do in Python. So it's good. It's good for me. So by now, hopefully, you have gotten into the course. And if you haven't, right, you're going to get an email from me today. Now, today is Friday. It's the Friday before the start of the semester. So, what I do before the start of the semester, and it's not that you have to consume this because you don't before the start of the semester, you'll see that in the email I'll send out. But I just want you to know and kind of get into the pattern. So, every Friday at noon, what I do is because by this time in the week, right, I will have reviewed the work that you've done and I will create a video that either highlights something specifically that I felt like we needed to talk more about, or I'll bring in other content, and that will be your weekly attendance. So every instructor has a different method they use for seeing how students are attending their courses. And I use this as a way to convey some more information to you and to see, are you participating? It's not the only thing I look at. I also look at how well are you, really probably the more important thing, which maybe this is why I need to make this more points, but okay, that's a different topic that you probably don't care about. Maybe you do. Is that, what was I going to say? I was going to say something about that, wasn't I? Regardless. So the point about this is that even though, and I say this in here, so let's just go look, right? So in your week one attendance, I have a little verbiage setting out here. And so now the way this is going to change is once I complete this video, then I'll put this on the top of here. This context will still be here. I just want you to know it. And then what I want you to do here is like, as I'm talking about stuff, there's going to be various questions that I ask you, and you can reply to any of it. There's going to be one question I want to kind of encourage you to imply, which is the one I'm about to leap into. So if you've gotten through the start here, which is really about setting up your GitHub username, which again, if you haven't, you got to do that part, because if you don't do the start here, and what do I mean by that? Right here. And I'm thinking you actually couldn't watch this video if you haven't, but I guess this highlights something that I want you to know too, right? This is a view you don't see of Canvas, but I do, is that I've set this course up to reinforce you having to move sequentially through it. So sometimes I'm learning too, that sometimes I have to kind of relock things, and we're all learning together. I don't claim to be perfect. I try to do it error-free, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. So my point is that I'm guessing you had to have already been through the start here in order to get to the week one attendance. And you'll see this as we move through the weeks. So in here, you have to do that, get here, okay? Because what I'm going to talk about this time in this attendance is really in the syllabus. So I'm going to actually open up this syllabus in a new tab. And I'm going to scroll through it. And as we get to here, I'm going to actually scroll through a little faster because I don't really want to show the Zoom link. And what this is really talking about, and this is the majority of what I wanted to say today, is about my office hours, right? Because, students come see me. Not all of them. I wish they would, but they don't when we were on campus. Especially because so that's the other thing is, if you don't know this, I've been teaching online for many years and I love it. So for me, this is completely natural. Maybe too natural. I got to watch my length of time in my videos sometimes. But, even when I was doing online before all of this happened, some students would come see me, but not all of them. So I want you to know that these hours listed here are really Zoom meetings that you can come into. But I'm going to give you an incentive specifically, and I'd said this for the Wednesday night for my Python class, but as I was talking about today, I realized I should say this for any office hour, okay? So in this class, you have a Monday night and a Thursday night due date. By the way, if there's a Monday holiday, all Monday nights get moved to Tuesday night due dates. And if there's a Thursday, which I think for this one there would be because there's a Thanksgiving, that would get moved to the following week in that case because there's 2 days there. But just know I adjust that. But outside of holidays, you have a Monday night and a Thursday night due date. So if you come into one of my office hours, they're not required. I don't make them required. But if you do come, right, which I encourage you to do, and you get help. So let's talk about what that means. So in order for you to get help, either Monday at 1, Tuesday at 2, Wednesday, which is my latest office hour, which I'm guessing I might see more students at. We'll see. It really varies here. But if you come to my office hours, and you've actually need some help, because why would you need help is that you've actually looked at the assignment, maybe attempted the assignment, and you need some additional help. I'm going to give you an incentive. I'm going to give you one additional day to work on the item without penalty. So normally I do 25% off an item that's not submitted or that is submitted after the due date. Okay, so as an example, I don't have a due date for the first Monday night of the semester, but Thursday night we have one, right? And so if you came into my office hour, I would give you, in this case, until Friday night to complete that. Now, let me be clear for those, just to be clear, is that I put all my due dates at midnight. And really what this means is I don't grade until the next morning. I just get up early and it's part of my early morning. I'm not typically a late night person, and I know some of you are, which by the way is a good reason to get on Discord, because there's going to be some of your fellow classmates that may be there and they could help if I'm not around. But I grade the next morning. So it really, right, in a sense, however you calculate it, gives you one additional 24 hours to get the work done without penalty. Now, after that, you can still submit the work. There is just a 25% deduction in points. And I really want you to think about this too, and I will kind of end with this today. But before I move on, do you understand what I mean? In your reply, do you understand the additional incentive that I'm offering to you to come to office hours, Zoom meetings? I hope you do. If not, ask me, right? So what was I talking about? See, what happens is I get sidetracked and I forget where I was heading with that. But those are my office hours. Please come see me. You have a little extra time to do that. And then I was going to talk about the next topic, but hopefully by now you're either got your GitHub username, you've joined the GitHub organization, you've looked at the Udemy course. I've only had, I think, one student who's reached out to me saying that they tried to get the Udemy course and it was a little more expensive. The one thing, and I say this in some of the videos, so if you missed it, set up your Udemy account first, and then hopefully you get some marketing done to get those lower prices, meaning they will market to you. If you already have a Udemy account and you have quite a few courses, I have had students have to create a new Udemy account because after so many, they stop discounting some of those courses to you. But unfortunately, I do not control Udemy. I just use them as my book, as our book. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this semester. I love JavaScript. I have already released, let me just show you this. I have already released into our course week 1 and week 2, which I will just tell you, here's your week 1 work. And again, we have to work through it in sequence. Here's your week 2. This is already available too, and you can see this is not. So again, it's this is stuff you don't see. It's prerequisite, meaning you have to complete week 1 to get into week 2. And I've already done this. I've actually watched these videos. I just last semester, I created all new content. So I'm rolling a little of that content through there. And sometimes I'll create new. It really depends on the items because I always look at that content as well to see how well, because I can look back and see if students had any big questions. I didn't cover something well, because the reality of trying to cover these things is pretty phenomenal. My last kind of discussion point, I know I may already said that, but the reason you might want to come to office hours is that you're going to learn JavaScript. You're going to write JavaScript. You're actually going to create something from your own, right? Your own ideas. And then you have to come through Zoom with me and describe your code. So the more you come to office hours and start talking about code with other people, the better and easier that process can be. So there's another incentive for you to come to office hours. All right, JavaScript's awesome. It really is. It's so popular. And we understand why every web page uses it pretty much. There are some things that are starting to creep in on the JavaScript dominance, but that's good too. Diversity is a good thing. Anyway, welcome to the semester. I'm sure glad you're here. I'm excited to get started, and I look forward to meeting you each soon. Peace out.